Alright, so I got a problem here. I need to fill this hole, and I need to back it up with something so that I can fill it without the fill just falling through. So I've got an idea that I haven't covered in my how to fill holes video, which you should probably watch. I came up with another idea. So my plan is to take, don't move, a rubber glove and cut out the thumb and stuff it in there, and then fill that with sand to back up the hole. So I've never done this before. I'm going to try it and we'll see how it works. So I'm going to cut the thumb off. And then I'm going to try to glue this seam shut here with some super glue, and then might have it long enough, because right now it's really close to the spout and I don't want the sand to overflow. Cures. Okay. So, you may be wondering why I don't use one of the methods I've shown in my how to fill holes video. And the reason is because when they use, this is made with a slip mold where you have two halves of a mold and you pour liquid slip into it and then pour it back out. What happened is there's a great big drip of porcelain that ran down the inside of this. Look, it's about the same size as this, and it's right here next to the hole on the inside. And so if I put a piece of paper in there with a thread on it and stuff it in and then pull it up against the hole, it won't seal the hole because there's this big teardrop of dried or baked on porcelain inside, and it won't let that flatten out against the hole. So my plan is to fill this with sand, and hopefully, if this works, it'll press up against that hole and seal it, because the sand will hopefully fill this better. So I don't know if it'll work. We're just going to try it. So I'm slowly filling this top part of the balloon up with the balloon, this thumb up with the sand, and then I'm stuffing it in with this Q-tip. I pulled the fuzz off of one end, and we're getting my... Okay, so it's a tedious operation, but we'll see how we can get this filled. Now it's up against there. We're almost there. See if I can pack that in there a little better, and if I get it tight, enough sand in there, it'll make it tight enough to seal the hole. I have to do one more. Okay. So I folded over the top of that and put a piece of tape on it to keep it from moving. So I've stuffed it full of sand and tamped a Q-tip in there to pack it in place, and we pretty much got the hole sealed. So I'm going to fill that now. So this is a 5-minute epoxy. I use it when I need something that's a little thinner than a putty, and this is self-leveling, less apt to get bubbles in it when I mix it. And here we go. I'll put this in here. It's sort of self-leveling once I get it in there. I'm going to make sure I get it packed into the corners up against all the edges. Smooth that over. And I want it slightly overfilled so I can file it down. I think I have a... You can still get bubbles in it, so you got to be careful. Now let that level itself, and we'll, in 5 minutes, so I'll be able to file that down smooth and flat. And since we use a nitrile glove, I'm hoping it'll just peel off once I dump the sand out and then pull the rubber out. It should all come off. But I need to wait till that gets hard first. Okay, we're all set now to take this apart. So, whenever I mix up epoxy and put it on something, sometimes you don't want to have to touch this, because if it's not cured, you leave a fingerprint in it. So I leave the remainder of what's left on my card, and then I can just come back and poke on it. And when it's hard, this is ready. So we save this for testing. So now let's do the removal process. So I take this, I taped this down so it wouldn't move around while I was working on it. I have to dump the sand out. Back into my little sand bucket. Now, so I got most of the sand out, if not all of it, and I pulled this out. It was stuck, but you can see there's no epoxy stuck to it, so it came completely off. There's no hole in it. The epoxy doesn't stick to that very well, so that was what I was counting on. And now we've got a clear hole, no sand, and we got the hole filled. It worked. Alright, let's file it down, see what it looks like. And there it is. Filled and filed.